Hello, fellow productivity seekers. Garland, Coulson here, Captain Time. Today I want to talk about off-peak living. So to explain what off-peak living is, first I have to explain what is on-peak living, and it's the living that most of us do. For example, lunchtime, most of us go at noon, we all hit the same restaurants, and suddenly the restaurants are full and really busy and you're waiting a long time to get served, waiting a long time for your order. Shopping, most of us work during the day, so we have to shop on our way home from work or in the evenings or in the weekends. Camping, short trips, same thing, we gotta take them on the weekends. Summer holidays, we take them peak time in the summer because the weather's nice, we want to be out in the nice weather. And at the special holidays like Valentine's Day and Christmas, of course, we're all shopping for our Valentine's Day gifts and our Christmas gifts in the last few weeks leading up to those events. So that's what on-peak living is. And the problem is everybody's trying to do all those things at the same time you are. So it's slower. There's a lot of lineups. And sometimes the things you want are fully booked. You may not be able to get your favorite camping spot or your favorite resort hotel or your favorite cruise at a peak period because there's so many other people vying for that same time. So how do you live off-peak? If you can, work from home. Now, I know it's not available for all of you, but for those of you who work from home, take advantage of the fact that you already have some built-in off-peak capability. I shop for groceries, clothes, anything I need in the early afternoons instead of in the evenings or the weekends. So I avoid the rush. I never want to go into Superstore or Costco on a weekend, ever. If I can help it, I always try to go an early afternoon on a weekday. And I can work during times when others are trying to do peak things. I can do some work in the evening if I want, or even on a weekend, because I have that flexibility. Now, you may not have that capability, so if you're going to go for lunch, consider going for lunch at 11 a.m. or 1 p.m. instead of noon. I used to go for lunch for many years when I worked out in the world where I had to commute to work every day. I used to go for lunch at 11. And that worked great. It was usually quieter, even just to grab a sandwich from the deli, or if I wanted to have a sit-down meal in a restaurant, it was just much faster because at 11 o'clock, they haven't hit the full peak yet. If you're going to go camping or take a short trip, consider going midweek. Go from Tuesday to Thursday or Tuesday to Friday. Come home that way. And then you can get some recovery time at home in the weekend too before you have to go into work. For movies, consider things like weekday matinees, so that you're not going at the same time everybody else is. My wife and I went to see the movie Cats that was in the theaters recently, and a lot of people panned the movie. But we enjoyed it because we do love the musical Cats, and so the music was good and we enjoyed seeing it. But what was really cool was because it wasn't that popular of a movie and we went to the matinee, we were the only people in the theater. So I turned to my wife and I said, "I booked the whole theater for us, babe. Isn't that romantic?" She says, "Oh yes, you're so romantic." And of course, she knew better. It just really happened we were there at the same time. But it was a really interesting experience for the two of us to be in a movie theater all by ourselves. It was amazing. This is pre-COVID, so it wasn't even that people were staying home because of COVID. Christmas shopping. Consider doing it in the summer if you can, or if you're out traveling and you're in really funky little stores, artisan shops, things like that, in places you'd never normally get to. Have Christmas already in mind for your family members and start thinking, what would be cool for my sister, my brother, my parents, my kids? Look for those unusual things. One year, and I only ever did this once, but one year I had all my Christmas shopping done by September. It was amazing. Now, keep in mind, you want to be cautious not to keep picking up one more thing and one more thing in the months leading up to Christmas because suddenly you've spent a lot more than you would otherwise. But it can be done. So keep an eye on that. Try to pick up your Christmas gifts throughout the year. So travel, leave and return midweek so that you're not going those peak times everybody else is going. And look for the off-season or the shoulder season. Shoulder season weather is usually good, but it's not traveled quite as much. Now, I know sometimes, of course, you don't want to go to a nice hot spot in their winter. I get that. But do, try to find those times that are just not quite as busy as the other. So the benefits of all this, the benefits of living off peak is it saves you time. a lot of time by doing it this way, and a lot less stress because there's not all these people out trying to do the same thing that you're doing it. You can save money on travel and special offers if you're going at a different time. I know many movie theaters do cheap Tuesdays to get people out on the Tuesday night because Tuesday's one of their quietest times. And overall, it's just less stressful, much easier to relax when you live off peak. So give some thought to that and say, am I going to hit the rush, or can I go at a time when it's much quieter? If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button, and check out my Patreon. We now have a new Patreon channel. Check it out below, and it gives me an incentive to be able to create more videos like these and some deeper content for Patreon members.